It's the Spin Market Report. Here's your host, Peter Stockdale.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Appreciate that intro. As usual, my co-host, Mackenzie Schwenke. I'm sitting down today with Stacy Carter and Morgan Flaherty. Can you guys start off? Let's say this first. North Central Occupation Medicine and Walk-in Clinic is your guys' baby. That's where you guys work. You guys, could you tell me what? I looked up the letters after your name. What are the letters that come after your guys' name, and why are they important?
Okay, so my name is Stacy Carter. Mine is RT and CMA. So I am actually, what I had went to school for was X-ray tech and certified medical assistant.
Nice. Morgan?
And then I am an ARNP, a registered nurse practitioner. It's advanced practice doctor, like a PA or a step below an MD.
All right.
And nurse practitioners in Iowa can practice independently. And so that's where we kind of came along to open up our own clinic.
All right. So before the clinic, though, what was your jobs, I guess? How did you end up starting from where you're at to get to the clinic? So what were you beforehand?
We had both did exactly what we're doing at our clinic now. So for about 11 years, I worked at another occupational medicine clinic. I was a rad tech and a CMA there.
Okay.
And then I was a nurse practitioner at Occupational Medicine for Unity Point. And then I also would pick up walk-in on the weekends.
Okay.
For Express Care. And we worked together for probably about 8 years at Unity Point OcMed. And then we just decided to open our own. There's always a need for medical clinics, especially walk-in services. So here we are.
So you guys had different jobs doing essentially the same thing, but you just kind of wanted to go into business for yourself. What made you decide to do that? Was it because you said you'd be working here, but sometimes working there, picking up hours, kind of just, and I feel like that's kind of common for people in the medical field, right?
Right.
Yeah. You get the different experience. I mean, there's so many different things you can do in the medical field. That's why I did occupational medicine, but then I also wanted to do the walk-in part because I went to school for actually family practice practitioner. So I can do a whole array of things. I'm just not an emergency provider.
Okay.
So walk-in was something else. That way I would do my antibiotics, my, all the stuff I learned throughout the family practice track, to where occupational medicine is more specific to work.
Okay.
It's all work, like companies, like their pre-employment physicals, DOTs, work injuries.
Yep.
Those get a little sticky. So
Yep.
Oh, wow.
We just kind of figured between the both of us, we had all the skills that we needed. So why not just team up and do our own?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like you took all the different jobs that you guys have had and just let's just combine it into one clinic. The two of you can kind of team up and just do all of it there instead of saying, let's do some here, some here, some here.
Yep.
Do you think it's beneficial in the sense that maybe you guys have a little bit more, I don't know if this is the right terminology before, a little bit more control over what's going on when you have a clinic that you guys are running, as opposed to kind of just showing up and kind of just seeing what's there for you to work on?
It's definitely been different opening our own clinic. I used to go to work and do, what I was supposed to do for a big company, to where when we decided to open our own, I didn't know there was so much in the back part, credentialing me to be all, credentialed through every insurance company, or just all the different rules. I always had people doing that for me. So then when we did our own thing, it was a lot of research.
It was a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of research and
So
a
it's
lot of hard
definitely a
work.
learning curve for you guys.
Oh, for sure. And we learn something new every day. So yeah, it's just been interesting. We're doing very well. Like I said, been open since March of 23.
Yep.
So almost a year and a half. We moved locations.
Yeah, because you guys were, where were you before?
So
North 27th. So across the street from the Enterprise car.
Okay.
So we were kind of connected with Pella and Millennium right there in that small building there, but it wasn't a very well-traveled road, and there was another building in front of us that kind of blocked the view of us. So that's why we wanted to get over here.
So what was your deciding factor to go to the one next to the fire department?
Just to get the traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic location is, the
And they did
location is
a
awesome.
completely remodel of that interior.
It's all brand new.
Yep.
And it's much larger inside than what
yes.
people think. From
That
the
was-
outside you look, it's very deceiving, but it's very large inside.
That's what shocked me the first time when I
Yes.
went and took photos. It just kind of felt like the building kept going, and I was like, this has been here this
more?
whole
Is
time.
this
Like,
still the same building?
I thought it was like maybe
Yeah.
1 or 2 rooms, and then no,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys,
Yeah,
that
it was
space is
completely
pretty nice,
remodeled.
actually.
It's really nice.
You expect to open the back door, be so far away you're in Badger or something.
Seriously, I was like amazed walking in there about how much room you guys had, because I didn't
Yeah.
expect that at all.
Everybody is. I think they think that it cuts off there, like where our nurse station is. But if you follow the hallway, there's a whole nother area back there too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you had mentioned that like the new building. I mean, it's so weird to think like you're a walk-in clinic, so like walk-in traffic is definitely part of what you're doing. So if your building's like all buried behind another building, you're not going to get as much walk-in traffic. Do you think people
Yes.
like are just kind of like they just don't see you, so they don't think about you when your building was in a different location, or was it like a mixture of that plus marketing, or it was a new company, or it was just kind of
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of all of that, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, word of mouth is probably the biggest thing. And you know, we did billboards, we did, you know, social
Radio,
media,
newspaper.
stuff, and you know, we were doing it by ourselves. So
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was kind of like,
That's got to be time consuming for you guys
Oh
to
my
do.
gosh, yeah.
Like, you guys are literally juggling the job of like
and then
5
it gets
different
frustrating
people.
when you don't, you know, you're not getting likes or people aren't, you
Yeah.
know. And then to make the decision to move, he reached out to me like a year at our place, and we were just like starting to build clientele, and me and her looked at each other. We're like, oh, do we move? Like, what do we do? Because we were, you know, we were
Only
just
a year
starting.
in, it's kind of
Yeah, and we were just
hard to
starting
think
to
about
get
moving.
people, and so no, this location has definitely been
very
a
beneficial.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned like the marketing portion of it. Your guys' job is medical stuff, and you're running a business. But like when you start taking on marketing, it's like a whole nother thing to stack on your plate, and it's like you said, can get really frustrating if what you're doing and putting all this time into, you can't even tell if it's working or not. You know, and that's. I mean, like, did you guys have a website prior to that, or was I think I saw Spin made a website for
No,
you, right?
we built our own
We
website
tried to build our own.
Yeah.
Kind
We
of built up on our own
thought we did
Facebook and
okay.
everything, and we thought it was good. We were pretty impressed by ourselves not having that experience. And then they come back and be like, "Well, we could fix this and fix that," but you know,
Right.
that was totally fine.
I mean, that's one of those things you don't really know. It's just because here at Spin, they just have like people that have been doing this for years and years and years, so they know the ins and outs. But like you said, I've made websites; they look fine. But when I show them to people here, they're like, "Yee, you did that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, you know, I didn't go to school for it. I'm not good. I'm not as good as these guys."
That was
so.
definitely us. We just
I think they said that they graded our website and they gave us a grade of a C. We're like, well, that was at least
To
average.
be honest, honestly,
Nothing-
that's not
terrible.
That's not like we've had some people that have had like F's for websites. So
Right.
you should honestly
C
be
wasn't
proud of
that
the fact
bad.
that you had a C. Like that's a good average to start out at.
So as you guys have moved locations, foot traffic is increasing. We've talked a little bit about the marketing that's there. Did I see something online, or did somebody mention that you're possibly going to go mobile with your clinic in some capacity?
We do already go on site to some companies where we actually do physicals and like PFTs, which are pulmonary function testing of the lungs, do audio testing. So that we've kind of already been dipping into and kind of growing from there. But also we have an audio trailer. Rather than doing audios inside of the clinic in a building, we do one at a time. The audio trailer will be done here in about a week. And that's going to be mobile, and we'll take that from company to company, and we can do 3 people at a time.
Yeah, because
that's gonna be awesome.
if I remember right, when we were talking about it, it's gonna make it a lot quicker for you guys, because then you don't have to wait for people to make their appointment to come in all the time, when you can just go to the company and
Right. They
hey,
don't have to
line
come
up
to our
and get on
building.
through. Like,
a lot of companies prefer that anyway.
Yeah.
Just because they don't, you know, they got to pay their employee to come into the clinic, and they lose that work time. So she just literally pulls the trailer out. They usually start at 5 in the morning because they try to get the night shift and then the day shift, and she'll be there for probably hour and a half to 3 hours, depending how many she has
people.
to do. But with 3 booths, and we got brand new audio equipment, it's going to be really fast. So
yeah, so it saves them time, but then also, I mean, in the long run, it saves you guys. You know,
absolutely.
you guys
And-
make a little extra money for not having to put in as much work as
And-
what you would.
And we are
Right.
the only local audio trailer now around.
Wow.
So
Oh, nice.
that was something we definitely had to tackle, and we did. We got a trailer and had it all worked up and ready to go.
It'll hit the road next week, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So we didn't, I don't even know if we mentioned this. You're located here, right here in Fort Dodge, which is where Spin Market is and where this podcast is based out of. So like, what are you trying to do for the community? Like, what is the aim for you guys? Like, are you just trying to, when you worked your jobs at the other places you worked at, did you kind of like see there's holes in the community for these types of things that would be needed medically? Or was this like let's start our own business, we're here, and then you kind of figure out like, well, we could start this service and help these people out with this, or it would be easier for everyone involved if we did it this way. Do you have like a certain goal you're trying to meet, or was it just kind of like, let's just utilize our skills and see where they fit in best and see what helps out not only us, but also our clientele, which could be employers?
Right. When we first started, I mean, yeah, we did really just start with like utilizing our skills. That's why we started with the occupational medicine and the walk-in clinic, because that's what we had already known. But then once we got in there, then, I mean, we've even expanded now to where we're doing weight loss, weekly injections for that, Botox.
We just started TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy. I just finished courses for that. Just different things. I think my biggest thing was when I worked, at urgent care, like on a Saturday from 9 to 4, whatever I did, it was constant people. I mean, there were days that I saw 62 people, and it's not, for a provider, it's not fair. I mean, we do lack like the walk-in urgent care, and that's another big aim is we gotta, for the non-emergent things, people go to the ER and then it fills up the ER, and then, that's for emergent, so I'm trying to, focus on helping the community get, if you're sick acutely, come in and see us, or
Try to get people to understand that, like our walk-in clinic too. I mean, so then that puts 2 walk-in clinics in Fort Dodge, I mean, like urgent care wise, I mean, so then that way people know that they can come to us for headaches, colds, sinus infections, that's not
instead of
not to
filling up the
run
ER
out to
with
the
that kind of
ER
stuff.
for that.
So it kind of
'cause
definitely like fills a need of creating another place for people to go. And you guys have a really good location too for
Absolutely,
it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, the amount of how, like, you would be roughly about like 4 blocks away from where I live. So, I mean, easy access for people that
Right.
live in Fort Dodge to just, even if you don't have a vehicle, you could almost walk
yeah,
there.
we have quite a
Yeah.
few people that said they've walked down from the the local neighborhoods because they live close by.
It's a true walk-in clinic.
It truly is, yeah.
So let's go for this one. This is I'm going to throw myself under the bus, but for those that are less knowledgeable, like myself, I think you guys kind of already answered this, but like, why are walk-in clinics necessary for the medical profession? I would venture to say it's not always easy to get into a doctor. Emergencies are for emergency rooms, and maybe that's your only option. But if those are your 2 only options, maybe that's where you guys are filling the gap.
Yeah, like family practice, you do have your primary care physician still. You have your main doctor that you go to for your general health. Like say you have high blood pressure or anything like that. That's where you go get your medicine and stuff from. That's what they do on a day-to-day basis. They do all the, your physicals, annual exams, your medicines, diabetes management, stuff like that, so they have that. They don't have time, for, they need a walk-in, so we take that off of them too. I mean, like I said, there's so many different fields that, practicing the walk-ins, like, I don't know, so easy to get into, and we don't, you don't have to schedule appointments with us. We're, like you said, are literally walk-in clinic.
Well, and it got to the point too, especially during COVID, after COVID, local urgent cares were so backed up too. So, I mean, it was nice to be able to kind of jump in right after that.
Yeah.
I mean, just recently, right after COVID and stuff, that we were able to even fill that gap where, I mean, they're seeing 60, 70 people, a day.
Exhausting their providers. I mean, it gets really tiring, and it's just kind of.
So, yeah, we
We're
just
there
thought
to
it was a
help.
good opportunity to open up another one and give that second option.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes a lot of
So
sense.
you're not waiting, sitting, scheduling, like that you don't have to schedule.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the scheduling is the hardest part. Like, I recall a few times like this is, and I don't want to say like I'm older, but like walk-in clinics weren't necessarily as prevalent as they are now, maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Right.
So I grew up and it was just like you got something,
Went to
just
your
call
primary
the
care.
doctor, go to the doctor. But now there's not as many doctors, it seems like. So they're, like you said, if it's like I have a cold, it's like, well, we can see you next week. It's like, well, by then my cold's gone. What difference does it
Right.
make, you know?
Yeah, because their schedules are already booked with all the other stuff,
Yeah.
all their other patients,
And
their
this is-
established patients. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is where it fills the gap. And I think that was like, for a long time, so much of so many people's frustration was exactly that. And I feel like what you guys are doing is actually just like helping so many people realize that there's other options out there for them. You're not just kind of stuck
Right.
with just waiting a couple weeks or spending a lot of money going to an ER for instant care.
Right.
So I think it kind of describes it also, like how are your services similar or different to those like a hospital? Like, for example, like why might someone come to you as opposed to a hospital? I think we discussed that a little bit with like the timing and things like that. And you guys do seem to offer most of the basic services that, you know, you would just go to a doctor or an
Right.
ER type situation for. I understand if someone cuts their arm off, they're not going to come into a walk-in clinic, probably.
Right.
Might redirect them a little bit in that
Yeah, you're
situation.
at the wrong place.
But for all the general stuff, it's going to fit. And it,
The only thing right now that we're still working on in process is an x-ray machine. So hoping
wow.
on that being done this next year too. So that'll be nice to have, especially when it comes to work comps and walk-in injuries and stuff that,
yeah.
I mean, we actually do work with Iowa Specialty. So anytime we get a person like that in, we'll send our people over to them
To their
for the
x-ray.
x-ray and they come back. But, you know, so for
Probably
the
make
time
it easier
being,
for you.
I mean, it still
Oh, for
works
sure.
well for us.
But
that we team
Iowa
up with
Specialty is
them.
doing very well. I mean, we schedule them for,
They're fast.
yeah. Yep. It
But-
takes them about 5 minutes and then they come back to us and be reevaluated after their x-ray. So they've been really nice to work with.
So coming back to the marketing aspect of all this, I perused your website and I found a litany of different services you guys offer. I mean, it's everything from differing illnesses, STI testing, drug screening, cosmetic, Botox. You provide services not only to like individuals who are walking in, but to local businesses. You got physicals, audio testing, different functioning and fitness testing, all sorts of stuff. Have you always provided all these, or was it again a situation where you're like, there's people coming in asking for this and we could provide this, but we just need to find a way to organize it. And then all of a sudden, wham, we've got this product now that we can, well, not necessarily a service more than anything that you can help people with.
Yeah, again, like I said, we did start with all those occupational needs. So any of the company needs or anything, we already had started with all that. And that is when it comes to the work comp, PFD, audios, pre-employments, drug testing. And then we started with the walk-in. So yeah, like I was saying, that the one things that we had added on as we've went along is the Botox and the weight loss. And so we also will testosterone. That just got started. And then
lab draws.
another thing that's coming into play pretty soon is we plan on doing the vitamins.
Oh, yeah. We're going to try to get an IV hydration going with the vitamin
Okay.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I remember right from being in with photos with you, taking photos of you guys, you're like drug screening. Is that like, if I remember right, that was kind of a big deal for you guys, like to do that.
Drug screening comes along with a lot of these companies, you know, pre-employment. Sometimes they do quarterly DOT, sometimes after hours. That's another thing we just took on was after hour drug screens because that's not being offered in this area. So companies have injuries or something at night and have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So we just picked that up last month too.
So we have an on-call phone all through the night, 24 hours
so
a
if anybody
day.
needs that
Oh my
services after hours, we're open 8:30 to 5 Monday through Friday. Only 4:30 to Friday, but then after that, then it goes into on-call. Whoever has the phone with them, and if that phone rings, I mean, you may
Go do the test.
be back at the clinic at 2 a.m. But
Oh my gosh. Have you guys had quite a few? I feel like I don't know if I can ask that question.
we just started. Like we literally just started, and a lot of the companies around here, they're
Pretty good.
no, yeah, they're pretty good. They don't have a whole lot, you know, like most of them maybe if it's even once a year, but still they need somebody, like who's going to be there after hours.
Yeah.
Right? They need to be able to get a hold of somebody and get that person tested.
Well, it makes me wonder, like, do they have somebody in-house, like, you know, at ABC Factory doesn't necessarily, like, they're not just sending like an HR person to be like, well, I guess we're going to screen you, so do this. Like, they could, I guess, but then it's not.
If they had somebody, I guess, trained or whatever, had the room, but the drug screen room is laid out in a certain way too. You have to have it, then you have to have a certified tech, and so
That's what I was wondering, if there's like certifications that are possibly needed to make this like more of an official type thing.
Yes, and it's better for them to do it outside the company, so then there's no
Kind of washes their hands of everything a little bit, just keeps it easier.
Yeah.
right.
Did I maybe you mentioned it, maybe somebody here, are you guys one of like the only places that does occupational drug testing like in this area?
No, there's another occupational medicine company here in Fort Dodge, and then I think there's a couple other places that do some occupational medicine, some drug screening and stuff.
So you're just probably the
So
only one
there's
that does the
not-
after hours.
We're
then.
the only ones right now that just picked up the after hours.
Oh wow. All right. Well, geez, that's such an endeavor too, because it's just you two, right? One of you, I'm assuming one of you two is going to have the on-call phone.
We'll be
No,
rotating
we
them.
have a couple other part-timers that are going to take it too, but yes, for the most part,
Holy cow.
her and
my
I will have it for now. For
Yeah.
now.
Right.
Later down the road, there'll be more people that
Yeah.
will add on because we'll get sick of it.
Well, I mean, I'm just assuming you guys are just going to keep growing in that aspect too, though, because it seems like the more you take on, you're just going to kind of have to you're going to have to grow. I mean, you're going to have to bring somebody else in eventually. Otherwise, you guys are going to go 24 hours a day, just the two of you.
Right.
And it was hard to make that decision to, take the on-call for 24 hours. But, like, we decided,
And then we keep picking up more companies. So the
That's
more companies
that's
you
what
have,
I'm
the more
hoping, yeah.
possibility you have of that phone.
the more you
ringing,
do, the
but
more you're going to get. And
it's not terrible. You go meet them there at the company, do the drug screen. I mean, honestly, you're gone from home to clinic and back home within probably 30 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad.
Well,
Not
a little
me.
different from Morgan. I live in Fort Dodge. She lives in Humboldt. She'd have to drive from Humboldt on her if she got called in. So
Let's go
yes,
Humboldt.
I forgot.
That's where I'm from.
Little different for
I guess
her.
I get
so
mileage money,
it'd be
though.
easy. It's easy for me.
You get that per diem.
yeah.
I do want to mention though, like, so you mentioned TRT, testosterone replacement. You got the weight loss / dieting supplement shots that you can give people. IV hydration was another one you mentioned. These are all kind of like more modern kind of conveniences to everybody as far as medical things. I don't want to say they're like, not like just like a thing that's happening. I don't know how to describe it. Basically, this is something that is becoming popular in culture
right,
to some
right.
extent.
New fad that is just really
That's
most of them just recently. Yes.
That's what I was
Started
thinking.
seeing a lot of
fad.
like dentists that have taken on Botox.
Oh,
and
yeah.
things like that. It's just, I feel like I've seen it just rapidly just blow up all across.
Weekly
that.
injections for weight loss is really blowing up too.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say you
Very
mentioned
popular.
fad, but that was the word I was trying to think of. But they aren't really fads though. I
'Cause
mean,
it-
like 'cause sometimes
'cause
they're
in-
necessary in situations.
That's very true too. And some of them don't go out of style look at the weight loss injection. I don't see that going out of style for a very long time because it works very well.
That's been around for a really
Or
long time.
longer than what most people know.
Yep.
Dr. Burkett back in the day used to prescribe Ozempic
Oh, wow.
for weight loss, but you had to pay. I mean, you have to pay out of pocket, and so back then it was a pen.
Oh,
We didn't have compounded pharmacies, so now we have compounded pharmacies, which make the medicine. It's the same way, but it's compounded.
Okay.
It's not the high dollar. So
Makes it look
the nice
cheaper
thing
for
about
the
these two
regular
is
person.
insurance doesn't cover.
Yeah, 'cause some of these might be like what cosmetic, or they might call it. Or
It's
something like that.
cosmetic, and it's making you lose weight. You're gonna start being healthy. There goes your blood pressure. There goes your diabetes. When you lose all that weight, and
So it's not cosmetic.
they don't want that.
Oh,
They don't want that. So insurance doesn't cover weight loss.
that's weird.
I know.
You think they almost would to lower but then that would less people. Okay, yeah, that's a huge business
That's,
in on there.
that's a different thing.
That's wild. I've always been really intrigued by like how insurance and the medical field meet in the middle and kind of sometimes have an impasse. Again, that's a topic for another time probably, but
we could talk about that for a very long time.
oh yeah. But this is cool. It's not like you guys are just like, well, we have a clinic. We'll put a thermometer in your mouth and a Band-Aid on your forehead and say thank you, and then you're out the door. You're actually evolving and changing with the times and doing things that people might look at Fort Dodge as kind of like a smaller, I mean, it's kind of big in the sense of Iowa, but it's kind of a smaller place, but we have all these modern conveniences here medically, and you guys are right in there with all of this stuff. And it's pretty awesome, actually. Like, I guess I never really thought, I'm sure testosterone replacement therapy is somewhere else in town, but this is the first time I'm ever hearing about, like, you could just go here and, take part in it if you need to, you know? So what does having this walk-in clinic mean to you guys personally, or like to you or to the community around you?
I think it's just really nice to, like I said, just to have that other opportunity to be able to have another place to go to, that we're able to offer these services. And I mean, that's why we're in the medical field, to help people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure. And we've met a lot of people just opening this clinic. We have a lot of people that just come in and chat with us that have been in there for, medical care, or
and later they just like to come in and just hang out in the lobby, and
or they'll call
just
us
here to visit,
or they'll call us to talk. And that's what I love about it. You just meet all these people. Like, before it was, we didn't working for an overhead, or, you saw the person, you treated them, and off they went. Like us, we make bonds. Like, it's hard to explain. Like,
It's a more personable touch.
Yeah.
yes, and we enjoy it. Like, we have a lot of fun working together. We have a lot of fun with our patients that we have. We have one lady, bless her, calls our place the Fat Farm.
Oh yeah,
because of
for
our
the
weight loss shots.
Yep. We're the fat,
So
we're
she calls
we're
the Fat Farm, and we just laugh. They're just giggling,
my
she's great.
That's fun. So you have this like personal interactions with people that you might not have been able to have before.
Oh yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure.
So I would chalk that up to being probably something you guys view as one of your favorite parts of your day-to-day operations. Like, is there anything else that on a day-to-day operations while you're there, you're just kind of like, I'm so glad we did this and I love this. There's a lot of reasons when I'm here, like sometimes I think about them on the fly, but like there's a lot of reasons I'm kind of glad I'm working here, and I'm sure you guys have those with your own occupations.
I think that really anything that we do day to day, all day long. I mean, we work very well together, and so it's just makes the day very easy. And
we laugh
also,
a lot. We, like I said,
It's kind of like hanging out with your friend throughout the day, and then I guess
Pretty
you do
much.
a couple work things here and there, but then you get to hang out with your friends.
and then it's just the benefits of, you get somebody that comes in that's injured, that we can help them and make them feel better, whether it means medication or if it was somebody's ankle and we had to put a brace on them or something, or what I mean, being able to help that patient and get them out the door feeling better. So
and it's our clinic, like that's what we did. It's.
And then to
it's
be able
great.
to see the progress of the people from week to week, if they have to come back, if they were injured and still got to continue back for the next month or 2 months, so it's kind of nice to see that progress. Even with like the weight loss, it's really nice to see the progress.
Yeah.
People come in weekly, like very excited about. So it's nice. I mean, it's making people
it kind of makes
happy,
you feel
too.
good, and like you kind of take pride in what
absolutely.
you do, and you
Yeah.
care about what you do because it's
Sure.
your business, your reputation.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's-
I got an email from one of our patients the other day, and I didn't like a big workup or anything, but she's like, "You're my hero."
Oh, yep.
And it's like,
Yep.
I didn't really have to do much, but she was just so happy to come in and somebody actually listen to her
Listen
and
to
treat
her
her,
and treated her the right way and everything. So it's really nice when you get those comments back. I mean, we actually get that quite a bit. So it's nice. We have a lot of people that come into the clinic and be like, wow, you guys are really good and you're fast and you're so personal, easy to get along with. We'll definitely be back. And then we see that they send their family members in, their friends.
yeah.
So we get a lot of that. That's how most of the people, it's not because of the billboard necessarily or the radio or the newspaper. A lot of it's because so-and-so told me.
Especially in like your type of field, because you have to be very personable, that bedside manner type of thing.
For sure.
My brother-in-law is
Right.
a doctor, and so I hear all the time about the whole bedside manner type of thing. And
Right.
like
that
if you
makes
guys
That
don't
makes a big difference.
have
Yes.
that respect towards the person that comes in there,
Right, and you gotta have the time to listen,
Yeah.
and
We
not
kind
just
of
rush them out.
yes,
we turn into counselors kind of a lot too. That is not one of the things on our
Not
on our
certified.
list. We are not advertising that, but
Yeah,
next
we don't mind
certification.
it's so fun. I had never really thought about like the the obvious one is you make people feel better, and that's got to be very rewarding. I never thought about the people who come in week after week or like a couple times a month, and you get to see their progress.
Absolutely.
That's also I'd never really thought about that.
Yeah, it's nice to see.
So
Nice to make people happy. Really is.
yeah,
You know?
it's honestly got to be one of the best feelings in the world is making somebody else feel better or feel good or something like that. I don't know. It just seems so rewarding, and you guys have like the metrics right in front of you to see that it is rewarding.
Yeah.
So what has marketing done for you guys positively? I know you guys had talked about, you did a little bit of this yourself, and I know that Spin Market's done some marketing aspects for you in certain capacities. Do you think it has improved the amount of people that are doing the walk-ins? Do you think the move had something to do with that too? The website that we helped create?
I think a mixture of all of it. I mean, obviously getting out there on the busy road and off of Central there obviously has been
I'll be honest, I didn't know you guys were here
It's been
until
a
you
big
moved.
help. A lot of people are like,
A lot of
be like,
people
what
say
is that? Until they read our sign. That's why we put our sign up on the building saying flu, cold, migraines, sprains, you know what I mean? So people understand that. Because when it says occupational medicine and walk-in, people get confused by what's occupational medicine, and they think it's a walk-in for that, which it is that too. But, we just try to get that out there that
We've had a lot more bookings online.
That's awesome.
The booking online
That's
thing has
definitely
helped
come up.
on
I think we
on our
had
website.
Just last week, just 3 in one day booked online.
Yeah,
So
so that's already started to grow.
yeah, that's been very nice.
And do you know, are they like new patients or like?
They've all been new.
They've all been new.
Wow.
Wow,
See,
there you
that's
go.
awesome.
Yeah, the ones that have been to us before, they just come in.
Yeah, I was
they
gonna
just
say.
know. They're just like,
They just
Oh,
log right
okay.
in, make themselves at home, wait for
much.
their appointment.
Pretty much.
So if anybody's looking to make an appointment or just to peruse and see what's going on, I'm going to throw it out there. www.northcentralwalkin.com is the website. We'll drop the website probably in the description section somewhere for everybody to check it out. But I did go through the website, and since I was not one of the people that designed it and I wasn't here when it was made, I got to go through and kind of see, as like what the general public gets to see. So you can see the scheduling there, contact information, just general knowledge of all the services. The coolest thing was the scheduling, I think, because you can just go in there and be like, well, they offer these things on these days. You click it and boom, here's your form.
Yep.
You fill it out and it just sends it right to you guys.
Sends it to our email. Yeah.
Which is
nice.
That's amazing. Like it makes it so easy. I mean, even if you don't want to call in or you can't call in and talk to somebody or it's like after hours, you're like, I'll just go online. You're like, oh, I can make an appointment right here. That's so convenient.
Well, especially nowadays. No, I mean, I don't really like calling in to schedule an appointment. I'd rather just like, hey,
Everybody's on their phones
Yeah.
or on the computer. Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good point. On your phone. I mean, even if you're not at a computer, you can be out in the field somewhere and be like, I need this. Boop, 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 boop.
Out in the
Here we go.
field.
That's how we order our groceries now. Oh, we got to go
Everything.
grocery shopping. Doo-doo-doo.
Everything's on the phone.
Yeah.
Pick up.
I mean, that's amazing. So we've helped. It seems like a Spin Market and you guys kind of like combined forces to make this perfect storm of like convenience for the community. Like from us helping you out with your website to kind of show some what's going on there. You guys starting a business for yourself, moving into a location that has more exposure, offering new things as they come around. Like we had mentioned, like weight loss shots and like your IV hydration is a fun one that I think it should. It was common in like Las Vegas and places like that,
Right.
and it's been there for a while. But it's like, how come we can't just go in town somewhere and get this? And at a somewhat cost-effective level, like it is in Vegas, and I feel like that's probably the coolest thing about a lot of this is it feels like there's a lot of modern medical conveniences that you guys offer that I was not aware were actually possibilities.
And that's the thing too. Yeah, a lot of people aren't aware of half the stuff that we do. Some days we're growing so much we don't even know half the stuff we do. No, I'm just kidding.
I was
but
gonna
yeah,
say, don't.
No, I'm not mean that. But yeah, so yeah, that IV, that room actually will be in process to do here within the next couple of weeks. That one would be pretty easy to set up. We've been talking about it for a while, so just getting it going here in the next couple of weeks.
All right, we're getting down to the end of the episode here. I got to ask you, so is there a time in your life where marketing has impacted one of you guys or both of you or either one of you in any capacity and you possibly didn't realize it happened until after the fact? I'm going to say it again.
Food.
Last week it was candy. I saw some candy advertised and I was like, whatever, marketing doesn't impact me. And then I was at the gas station. I was like, there it is. And I just bought the candy thing. And it was like, why? It just worked. And I it's almost like disheartening when you see how good it works, but that's what it's there. That's what marketing is there for. Is there anything in your guys' lives?
Yeah, I guess I never really put any thought of that. Cause you know, when it comes to marketing, for us, marketing is a new thing. You know, we're not used to marketing. We've never been in that position where we ever had to use marketing for anything else. I mean,
Well, that's where I caught up the weight loss injections. You know, all the stuff they had all over, you know, Facebook,
it's
everything
online,
about
it's
it.
all over.
So I'm like,
So thanks to marketing for getting Botox
Right,
yes,
at your
right,
guys'
yes,
clinic.
and
Botox,
going
weight
in.
loss. Yeah.
I mean, that's why it almost sounds like other people's marketing is like giving you guys ideas as to what to bring into your clinic even. Like, that's awesome.
Right. Yeah. That and the testosterone and I think Botox, any of them, a lot of them you would already see online and be like, hey, well, you know, I can do that too.
Right.
Exactly.
Take more classes. And
That's awesome. It's nice to know that you guys like not only are, you know, you started this company and you guys got your own walk-in clinic, but you're like, I will go through the work to take the classes to do this.
To do more.
Yeah, to do more for the community.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
So have I forgotten to mention anything? I do want to mention once again, www.northcentralwalkin.com. That is the North Central Occupational Medicine and Walk-in Clinic here in Fort Dodge. Is there anything I forgot to mention or anything that you guys would like to add to the conversation that I did not put down?
I don't think so. We pretty much
I
covered
can't
everything.
think of anything right now.
All right. Well, I want to say thanks to you guys for sitting down, Stacy and Morgan. Appreciate it. Go ahead, check out that website, make an appointment, see what kind of services they offer, and or just walk in.
Right.
In.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital.
Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market.
Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026 or visit our website www.spinmarket.com.